Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
Oh, wow. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show. Hope you're all doing as well as I am. Oh, man. Jeff, 2 days.
Mother.
I got you.
Dude.
Good morning, buddy. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm excited.
Pistons dropped new uniforms.
They did.
Football is officially back.
Yep.
As of today. Rams, Bills. We'll get to that later. I am so excited. And Fish, this is real football, by the way. Not the fake football you watch.
Fish
This is real American football and how things should be done.
Oh, football's here. Yay, how exciting.
Fish got the
I'm
NFL
wearing
shirt.
the shirt.
I was going to say.
I'm
look
wearing
at
the
you.
NFL shirt. I know football's here. It starts today. Even though it started years ago for me. It's
Years
here.
ago.
I do enjoy watching NFL. I know a lot of people, don't think I do. I enjoy when the NFL comes around.
Yeah. You were on the 10-7 in a playoff win, right? You were on that train for a little bit.
I'll be on this train again this year.
All right.
All right, well, let's get into it. Dawson Knox, Buffalo Bills tight end. You'll see him tonight. 4-year extension, worth $53.6 million. Now, that makes him one of the highest paid tight ends. Yeah. Now, I'm sure you're asking, what the hell are we doing talking about Dawson Knox? Well, the question this morning is, what does it mean for TJ Hockenson? And we've talked about this before, but boy, after David Njoku got paid, and now you're seeing Dawson Knox get paid, the question is, what is it going to cost to keep TJ Hockenson? Whether he performs or not this year is a whole different debate that we can get into once the season starts. But you want to just compare the last few seasons? Dawson Knox, TJ Hockenson, relatively similar. You could argue Hockenson some better stats here and there. I think we all agree Hockenson has a lot of potential. That's great. But the only way you can showcase your potential is by delivering on the football field, right? I think we're all on the same page this morning. Cool. So the question is, what is it going to take to keep him? And is it worth it, Jeff? Is it worth paying him 14, 15 million, maybe even more? And what does he go for in the open market? We're just assuming, it'll be a contract extension, right? What does he go for in free agency? 16? 17 maybe?
I would say about 14.
He's talented. Can't deny the talent.
No, you can't. He just needs to be healthy. I think that's the biggest thing for TJ this year. And even on top of that, it's going to be a tough decision because anytime anybody gets paid, and we always talk about this, the next guy is going to jump them. So you see Dawson Knox getting paid more than David Njoku, and when TJ Hockenson gets paid, it's going to be more than Dawson Knox. So the Lions are in a predicament right now. For me, if I'm Brad Holmes, I'm not budging. I'm waiting to see this year. He has a full season. Let him prove he can stay healthy, number one, for an entire year, but play well. And I think if he does that, I don't have a problem signing him. I'm looking at the salaries right now for the tight ends, the highest tight ends in the league. You have George Kittle making the most at $15 million, and then it's not updated with Dawson Knox's contract, but you're probably going to want to pay TJ around that number, $14, $15 million per year. I mean, it's a tough question because I haven't seen TJ. The last time I seen TJ was almost 2 seasons ago. Like last season, he was hurt early. So this is a big year for him. He has to come out and prove it. And I think he will. If he stays healthy, he gets 800, whatever it is, yards. Because if you look at Dawson Knox, like statistically, he doesn't really blow you away. Like you look at his last couple years. But I get it. You're paying him to project him. But so TJ's had better stats, technically.
Technically, he has. But it's actually, for the most part, wrong. And I'll tell you why. Dawson Knox played how many games last year?
Every game?
17.
Yep.
TJ Hockenson? 12.
Oh, well, yeah, there you go.
How many snaps a game did TJ Hockenson average? 55. How many did Dawson Knox, who played a full season? 54. How many receptions did Dawson Knox have last year? 49. Hockenson, 61. But who finished with more yards? Dawson Knox did, averaging 12 yards a reception. Hockenson sitting there at 9.6. Dawson Knox, 9 touchdowns. Last year, more than Hockenson has ever put together in a single year. Dawson Knox is a good tight end with the Buffalo Bills. Does he have the talent that we all believe TJ Hockenson has? Maybe not. But he's productive. He's playing every game. And I can rely on him. You pay him. And honestly, you got him at a pretty good price for the market. You really did. And I don't think the Bills are in a position. It's only $31 million guaranteed anyways. I don't think they put themselves in a position where they're overpaying a tight end. They're not. Dawson Knox is a capable player. He's one of their better options outside of Stephon Diggs. I don't have an issue with it. But for the Lions, Dawson Knox, across the board last year, better than TJ Hockenson.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
And
he was more healthy. He played, yeah.
Hockenson plays this year, let's say a full 17 games. Well, then he probably would finish with 850 yards.
Yeah, which would be a career
Based
high.
on last year's projections?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Are you going to shell out 15, 16, 17 million annually? Are you going to give him a 4-year, $60 million deal? A 5-year, $75 million deal? What's the contract going to look like? I don't think it's worth it, given his injury history, unless somehow, some way, this season, he can play 17 games, and then you can consider giving him a contract extension. Because I think we all agree, TJ Hockenson, one of the most talented tight ends in the NFL.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt. Really gives you a lot run blocking. Team player. Never really hear a word out of him outside of the field. That's great. Doesn't draw too much attention. Great. Team guy. How much are you going to have to pay him? And my question to you would be $15 million a year. If I told you that's the price to extend him after this season for 4 more years, would you do it?
And you're telling me he's played in every game this season?
Let's say he plays 15 out of 17.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. And he's got, he racks up 850 yards. He looks good. I would say yeah. Because, and trust me, I would much rather, I prefer Brett Holmes to make these decisions, which I'm glad he's in place to do so. But with TJ Hockenson, you have to think about a couple things. Number one is, how long are you going to be paying Jared Goff? When are you going to draft a quarterback? Because if you draft a rookie quarterback, these questions get answered it's much more quicker, because I can afford to pay TJ Hockenson $14, $15 million a year if I have a quarterback on a rookie contract. If you're paying Jared $30 million, you have TJ at 14. This is why the Lions have the most expensive, or one of the most expensive offenses right now. But there's a way to, move the money around. I mean, there's got to be a way. If you cut, Vitae, however it is, you save a couple $1 million. I wouldn't have an issue with it, but he'd have to come out and prove it this year. Absolutely.
So
he's got to play well.
You know
and
me,
stay
I've
healthy.
been very vocal with my frustration with TJ Hockenson.
Yeah.
And the money around it does bother me. But there's a huge but here. TJ Hockenson, man, he's productive. He's a problem, and he's a matchup nightmare.
Oh, yeah.
We talk about the Lions this year. Amon-Ra St. Brown, right? DJ Chark, Jameson Williams when he comes back from injury. DeAndre Swift, that offensive line, right? It's a problem. Oh, did I forget to mention there's a tight end who you're going to have to throw a linebacker on, or your safety. And either way, it's a better matchup for the Lions than it is for the other team, in most cases. He's a great asset to have on offense. Can he stay healthy? Like you said, that is the key question. If he does, I will gladly pay him, because I know what he brings to this offense is a whole different level of dynamic playmaking ability that you're hoping Jameson Williams gives you. I think St. Brown gives you something a little different, but in his own way that is really playmaking, and it's phenomenal. But you want a guy like TJ Hockenson. The problem is, he's got to show up this year in a big way. St. Brown, DJ Chark, Josh Reynolds, DeAndre Swift, Jameson Williams, that offensive line. I don't want to see 9 yards a catch this year. He should be able to move downfield. He'll be able to run block. That's all great. Whatever.
Should be like 11, 12 yards per catch.
He should be up there 11 and a half.
Yeah.
And he should really be pushing for 1,000 yards this year. In a 17-game schedule? 17-game schedule, Jeff. That's, what is it, 60 yards a game?
Yeah, he had 720 yards in 16 games a couple years ago.
58 yards a game.
So
that's all you're asking.
Yeah, increases that.
Come on. So, yeah, I'm actually more on board with giving TJ Hockenson a contract similar to what Dawson Knox gave. Even slightly higher, maybe the same and just more guaranteed, who knows?
Yeah, probably
which I think is fair.
Yeah.
But again, I'm all based on his talent. His talent is there, but it has to be on the field now. Like, this has to be his year. I'm going to be a Pro Bowl tight end this year.
Right.
I'm going to be the best pass-catching option, maybe outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, on this team this year. We all know he can run block. We all know he does so many things so well, but he needs to be on the field doing it. And that's the end-all, be-all.
And the only thing I think Brad Holmes has to think to himself is, can you find a replacement? Can you draft a replacement of TJ? Is he that good to where you don't want to lose him? And this year we'll answer that question for us. If he comes out and, like you said, he plays every game this year, has 800 yards, I don't see why Brad Holmes would think to himself, I can just go draft a tight end. I mean, no, 800 yards for a tight end in this league is impressive, and that's what's getting guys paid. So for TJ, I think it's really staying healthy, and he's in a position to do so. You have an offense this year which is much more upgraded than last year. You have a better receiver room. TJ's not going to be the sole focus every single game. So to his benefit, he should get way, way more open looks, get single coverage, and I think he's going to be able to, take advantage of that.
I'm going to read you off a list of names, and you tell me your preference. TJ Hockenson or who I'm going to read. Okay?
Right.
Hockenson or George Kittle.
George Kittle.
Travis Kelce. Dallas Goedert.
Dallas Goedert.
Mark Andrews. David Njoku.
I would go TJ. Okay. That's where I probably
Hunter Henry.
TJ.
Jonnu Smith.
TJ.
Mike Gesicki.
TJ.
Dalton Schultz.
I'm going to still go TJ.
Okay.
So I think he's
so
right
based
behind
on
those
your
guys.
answers, I'll add, since we're talking about him, Dawson Knox.
TJ.
Okay. Fair. So then you're going to accept that at minimum, you're going to pay him $14 million a year. Because that would pay him more than everybody I just listed to you that just got a new contract.
Yeah, if he comes out and plays well this year, I would do that.
And if he comes out and plays well, Andrews makes 14, Goddard makes 14.2, Kelce 14.3, Kittle 15. If I'm honest, if I'm the agent for TJ Hockenson, he goes out, let's say 70 catches, 80 catches, 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns.
Oh, you're signing him.
You're not signing him. You're going to have to make him the highest paid tight end in the NFL. And that's what I am commanding as his agent. Now, do you get it? Who knows? But from their perspective, he comes out and balls this year, he's going to be up there between Kittle and Goddard. He's not falling any more than that on the cap.
No, he won't.
He's going to be one of the highest paid tight ends. And again, he's talented. Is it easy for all of you to say, we'll just draft a new tight end? Boy, easier said than done.
Yeah.
Granted, you find a few every year that come out in the draft and they're productive. But can they produce at that level?
That's the question.
Do you trust Brad Holmes to do it? I'm sure you all do. I do too. But you know what? This team, outside of Jared Goff, doesn't really have any huge commitments on the cap. It's really just Jared Goff.
Yeah.
You're going to pay the lineman, right? You're going to have to re-sign TJ Hockenson if he's able to play, if it all works out. You're going to have to re-sign Jeff Okudah. That's going to have to be a conversation in a few years. You have all these first-round picks you're going to have to address. And yes, you have the franchise tag. Yes, you have all this ability. But still, I think if Hockenson plays all the games, hell, even 15, 16, he's going to command the highest paid salary in the NFL for a tight end. And I can't be mad at it.
I'm really curious to see what Brad Holmes does this draft in terms of how they're going to acquire the next QB. Because if they draft a quarterback, Adam, I want TJ there. I really do. I think that'll be beneficial for any rookie quarterback. So for me personally, even for Jared, it'd be beneficial, obviously. But for me, if you're paying him $14 million, that pill is much more easier to swallow if you have a quarterback on a rookie deal. So we'll see what happens. I think it's very, very possible they do that this upcoming draft. So if they do, I would sign TJ. But contingent on him playing every game this season. And like you said, having a great year. Because really, in 3 years, he's had one great year, or good year. He had 700 yards. So he's got to come out and prove it, but we'll see. These decisions will be answered by TJ. He has to come out and play, and then by the end of the season, this decision will be much, much more easier than right now.
Look, at the end of the day, if I told you could have a Kyle Pitts, all healthy, by the way, Kyle Pitts, a George Kittle, a Mark Andrews, a Travis Kelce, I think talent-wise, you put Hockenson in that group in terms of talent. Now, is he at the top or the bottom? That's up for you to decide. But at the end of the day, he is talented. And you don't let talent walk out the door on a team that is, let's be honest, in a rebuild trying to get talent. You don't let him walk if you can afford him. It's that simple. When we get back, will the Ravens close the deal with Lamar Jackson? What it means for the Detroit Lions. I know this has been circling. Jeff, you're probably not going to like my answer, but you're going to have to hear me out, okay?
Okay. Well, I'm willing to listen.
We'll do that when we get back. But before we do, I got to tell you about our good friends over at Planet Fitness, the official studio sponsor of the Woodward Sports Network. Get to a local Planet Fitness near you. Sign up today, $0 down, $10 a month. Your fitness is essential. I wasn't able to go this morning. I'll definitely go right after work. One of their many, many Metro Detroit locations, or visit them at planetfitness.com to get signed up today. Again, that's $0 down, $10 a month. Take advantage of their current deal.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
Make sure it's seen and heard. Corner, jumper, tweet us, hop on the YouTube chat, slide in the DMS at Woodward Sports on all social media.
At Alta, uptime matters. Alta Equipment has everything you need to get the job done. Have a big project coming up? Alta Rent has you covered. Call them today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA today.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Jeff, I know you were on the heavyweights yesterday talking about this. And this isn't just for the heavyweights. This really is for every Lions fan out there. Okay? The Ravens are struggling to close the deal with Lamar. Let's say the contract expires. They're not going to find a deal. Okay, fine. Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong. The Lions are a possible destination. Has to be one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And I'm going to tell you why.
Enlighten me.
You know, there's a thing called... Oh, 1 second. Bill Polian's on the line.
Getting a call.
Hey, Bill. Oh, the franchise tag. Yep. How many years can teams do it for? Oh, yep. Excuse me. What did I... franchise tag. The fact that he's probably going to be a $50 million quarterback a year. How it makes no sense given your team's current projection, and that even if you move Goff off the books, you have to add an additional $5 million for the dead cap space you're going to eat. Oh, on top of it, by the time you can even get him after they franchise tag him, he'll probably be a $65 million quarterback. Who knows where the market goes in a few years. It is impossible for the Lions to acquire Lamar Jackson in the open market. And I'm sorry, Lamar Jackson was drafted by the
Baltimore Ravens.
Baltimore Ravens are one of the best organizations over the last 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
The same Baltimore Ravens team that has John Harbaugh, a proven successful head coach who believed in Lamar Jackson.
Built an offense around him.
That Baltimore Ravens team. Lamar is going to hold out and get what he believes his value is.
Rightfully
so. He has every right to do that.
Yeah.
Just because they're in contract talks and it hasn't gotten anywhere yet does not mean for a singular second that somehow, some way, Lamar is linked or would fit with Detroit. Makes no sense to me. I don't know how else to break it down outside of the fact that once his contract expires, they're going to franchise tag him, and then they'll do it again, and they'll do it again until they can make a deal. And I believe it's up to 3 years in a row you can do it, or 2. It's one of the 2. Think of it the way they did Kirk Cousins back in Washington. Same thing. Same concept. This is the reality. Lamar's going to get paid. Would you prefer Lamar over Jared Goff? I'm sure everybody would. I would too. It's not a reality. It's not a possibility. Baltimore will not let him go. They will do everything in their power over the next 12 to 18 months to get a contract extension in place. Go make a big splash on a wide receiver because they're going to need one. And the wide receiving class coming out in the draft and in free agency is pretty respectable. They'll be able to address his concerns along with their team concerns. Having said that, Lamar to Detroit, I'd put a negative percentage chance on it if I could. Come on.
Yeah, me too. I'm right with you. And I think, too, with the Ravens, I have to say this. It's their fault this has gotten to this point. You see Kyler Murray, you see Dak, you see Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers. These guys get extensions. And you wait to the last possible minute, second, or coming days, to extend Lamar Jackson or try to extend. This is the price of playing poker. It's what Neil always says, sitting in the same chair I'm sitting in. And I agree with him. I'm on Lamar's side with this. He deserves to get a big contract. He's put in the work. He's an MVP at his age. What he's done already in this league, he deserves to get paid, man. He's must-watch TV. And from a Lions fan perspective, I can see why you'd want Lamar. Makes every sense. You look at what this team and how it's built. It's built for a quarterback like Lamar with the run game and how he's able to utilize his legs. But the reality is, it's not happening. Because think about it. Not only would you have to pay him, like you just hit on, but what would you have to give up for Lamar? That's what I'm asking you. That's the question. Because not only are you giving up assets, then you're paying him $50 million.
A quarterback that's 37-12 in his career. Let me say that again. 37-12. For every 4 games he plays, he wins 3 of them. That's ridiculous. Now again, Baltimore, John Harbaugh, the system, I understand. But he has earned the right to get this contract. If Deshaun Watson, and again, I believe his mom is his agent, by the way. I believe him and his mom negotiate
he doesn't
on
have
his behalf.
actual
and I know the
agent.
Ravens are looking to take care of him. They do want to extend him. That's a non-issue. But if Deshaun Watson gets a fully guaranteed contract, what does an MVP do? What does a guy who really outside of last year hasn't missed many games, who last year had no backfield to work with, and Marquise Brown, who couldn't catch a ball?
Yeah,
come on.
Everything's going in his favor. You can't say he hasn't been healthy. He has, besides last season. So to your point, it's a matter of when, not if they'll pay him.
And you know me, I'm a stickler, man. I don't like run-first quarterbacks. But you know what? Lamar ran for 700 year 1, 1,200 year 2 where he was an MVP, 1,000 year 3, last year 767, and still left 5 games on the table. If they can protect him, if he can get smarter about running, he has an extended runway. Do I think his passing is enough to win you a Super Bowl or carry you to a Super Bowl like a Joe Burrow, like a Matthew Stafford? I don't think so. But he could totally prove you wrong. And he could totally prove me wrong. And there's one thing I can't deny about Lamar Jackson. He wins football games. And this isn't, Tim Tebow won football games. No.
No, he wins.
We're not going to talk about Lamar Jackson as if he can't throw a football. 64% completion percentage for his career. Does he throw a weird ball? Is it different? Do I not like it? Sure. He wins football games. What more do you want from a quarterback? If you want to talk about the definition of a franchise quarterback, we had this conversation with Matthew Stafford years and years ago. What's the definition of a franchise quarterback? It's not just the talent and the statistics and everything that goes along with it. Off the field, how do you represent the organization? Are you available on the field? How do you lead the locker room?
It's your CEO.
What do your peers think of you? And of course, the impact you make on the field. He checks those boxes, man. And again, I am not the biggest Lamar Jackson fan, but I would be stupid to sit up here and ignore 37-12, 64% completion percentage. Does he need to get better throwing the ball? He does. He can't rely on his legs for a 10-12 year window.
Right.
He's got 4 years. He's probably got another 2, 3 at most running at an elite level. So he's got some runway to work on his passing, but it has to get better. And you know what? If we're going to be fair, Baltimore needs to get him better weapons too. Lamar Jackson. Detroit. Impossible.
And I don't listen, if I'm the Ravens, I don't know how you can play you can mess with this right now. Like, I don't know how you're waiting to extend Lamar. I mean, the guy's a MVP, 2-time Pro Bowler. At his age already, at the age of 25 years old, 4 seasons in the NFL, he has an MVP already. And like you said, you mentioned his record, 37-12 win-loss record for the Ravens. Like, if the Ravens don't sign him, what the hell are they going to do? They have to sign him. So
Paul Thomas says,
I don't see it.
Paul Thomas says if the Ravens agreed, they would have already signed him. It's not that simple.
No, yeah, it's not.
So you guys need to understand something. I want you to put yourself not in Lamar Jackson's shoes, not in the Baltimore Ravens organization's shoes. I want you to put your feet into the shoes of his mother, his agent, Lamar Jackson. I look around the league, Kyler Murray's contract, Deshaun Watson's contract, Patrick Mahomes a few years ago, Josh Allen. I'm looking at all these contracts and I'm saying, well, the market right now, my son, my client, Lamar Jackson, tell me if you agree, Jeff. My client, Lamar Jackson, right now is more reliable and plays at a higher level than Deshaun Watson. Yes or no?
You could argue that.
My client, Lamar Jackson, plays at a higher level and is more reliable late in the season than Kyler Murray.
Oh, yeah. That's no
So
question.
should he not get paid more? Again, from an agent's perspective here,
But
that's why these contracts aren't going far, because you guys, you remember me very clearly. I don't like the Dak Prescott contract at all. I think it's a joke. I think they overpaid. But damn it, what's your reality? Dak or no Dak?
And it's not just how much you're getting paid, Adam. It's when you're getting paid.
And he's getting paid at the right time.
And the last quarterback, essentially. So he's looking at these quarterbacks saying, I want to jump them. Like, if you guys don't want to pay me more than Kyler, you should have paid me before
Deshaun Watson have an
Kyler.
MVP?
He does not.
Does Kyler Murray have an MVP?
No, he does not.
Does either Kyler or Deshaun Watson win 75% of their games?
No. There you go.
What do I do here? Of course the Ravens haven't come to the table with a fully guaranteed contract or whatever the number is. You know why? Because they understand, hey, we don't see Lamar Jackson as a $60 million quarterback. But if we don't pay him, we're going to have to start over. And you know, this idea that everything works on the rookie contract is such a myth. It's such a myth. Is it the greatest window for you to build a super team? Yes,
Absolutely.
it is. But you have to pay your quarterbacks. Are the Bills just going to let Josh Allen walk after his rookie contract's over? What about Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs? He's just going to leave? No. Herbert? You're going to let Herbert go once his rookie contract deal ends? Yes or no?
No.
This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Yes, when they're on their rookie deal, is it the greatest time to assemble a fantastic roster and go all in? Yes, it is. But you keep those quarterbacks after. Lamar Jackson to the Lions, I think, is not only impossible, it just doesn't make sense for Lamar, his situation, what's best for him. Now, in a hypothetical, dreamland world scenario where Lamar Jackson, let's say, is the quarterback of the Lions, that offensive line, DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, Amon-Ra St. Brown, TJ Hockenson, DJ Chark, Jameson Williams. You want to talk about weapons? It'd be really nice to have a quarterback like Lamar here, but it's not going to happen. Not going to happen.
And one thing, too, it's like, this is the problem, and I see a comment right here. If Baltimore signs him, it will handicap the team for years to come. Honestly, I think it'll handicap the team if they don't sign him. And think about it. Even if they trade him, Adam, let's just say hypothetically, you trade him to Minnesota. You take on Kirk Cousins. Minnesota gives you multiple first-round picks. Now you have Kirk Cousins in Baltimore. As a Baltimore fan, what do you think about that? I think I'm still livid that we traded Lamar. I mean, I get it. You got assets. You got Kirk Cousins.
No. It's stupid.
Pay the man. Pay the man.
There's
please.
no more vocal critic than I am about Lamar Jackson's passing. But you want to bring up his playoff record? He has as many playoff wins as your entire franchise. Let's start there, number one. Number two, yes, he is 1-3 in the playoffs. He's been in the playoffs 3 out of his 4 seasons in the NFL. And you know what? Last I checked, he was sacked 7 times, 4 times, and then 8 times more recently in those 4 games.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Yeah, it's tough to win a game when you're 14-29 and you have 50% completion percentage. But it's also tough when you get sacked 7 times in a single game. Context matters. He's gotten better. He went from 48 to 52 to 65% completion percentage. Come on, guys. We're better than this. You don't let a franchise quarterback walk out the door. Lamar and Dak are franchise quarterbacks. Are they your preference? Are they Justin Herbert, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes? No, they're not. Not everybody in the league can have them. They're a select few. And those teams that have them are very fortunate and lucky. But would you rather have Marcus Mariota starting for your football team next year? Or Lamar Jackson? When we get back... jam-packed show. Anthony Broome joining us at 8:45. Talk some Michigan football. Top of the hour, Frank Ragnow dealing with a groin injury. Injuries are like the last thing I want to hear right now going into the year, but whatever. We have to talk about it. We'll release our regular season award predictions for the NFL. Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts have to do a breakdown comparison going into Sunday's game. And then, of course, Thursday night football. The final talk of the show. Bills, Rams. We'll give some bets, some parlays, some same game props. We'll go through the whole list. I'm excited, man. Football's back. It's officially back. And you know what else is back? Lions Sunday pregame shows and postgame shows with the Woodward Sports Network. We'll be live 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Sundays leading up to kickoff, live from the Brass Round downtown Detroit. Come join us, of course. It'll be Ryan Armani, Braylon Edwards, Tom Mazaway. We'll have special guests joining every single Sunday, and it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And, of course, who can forget the post-game show from 4:15, well, really the 2-minute warning upwards, where Stick and Anson will recap the game. I'm so very excited for that. But we'll get to all that and much, much more coming up in just a bit. We'll see you in a sec.
For a limited time only, all new burgers and loaded fries at Big Boy. It's not a Slim Jim, it's the Big Jim. The chili cheese is such a tease. Guess what else is new? The bacon blue. How about upgrading those fries? Chili cheese fries, baked potato fries, nacho fries, what will it be? Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Hey, this is Mr. Kearney, Chief Academic Officer at Academy of Warren. I want to welcome you to the brand new field house. The state-of-the-art facility has a regulation basketball court, volleyball court, soccer field. It can be used for 7-on-7 football. Our K-8 academic features AM, PM, latchkey, small classroom sizes, Learning Street, futuristic media center, free breakfast and lunch, Houghton Mifflin curriculum, academic games, K-8 athletics, and more. Enroll today at academywarren.net.
You're an ugly guy, and that's okay because you've outkicked your coverage with your significant other. Well, that's good news for you. Their hotness and your notness could get you front row tickets. The Woodward Sports Network is giving you a chance to sit front row for the Detroit versus Washington football game. That's right. We're looking for the ugliest guy and the hottest girl. So fellas, come on. If you know you've outkicked your coverage, here's your chance. Post a pic of you and your superior-looking partner on Twitter or Instagram with hashtag Woodward Front Row. Follow us and tag at Woodward Sports. Hurry, because we'll be selecting a winner September 16th. We can't wait to see you. Well, her. From the network that always outkicks the competition, Woodward Sports.
All right, guys, the official drink of the summer is here, and that's the Mulligan with Gypsy Vodka. 8% alcohol, iced tea, lemonade, and Gypsy Vodka mixed. Make sure you're drinking responsibly. As always, whether you're on the golf course with Fish or you're hanging out for some barbecue with Jeff after the show, it's up to you. Just make sure you're drinking the Mulligan, and like I said, please drink responsibly. Jeff, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show, 8:34 on an absolutely beautiful Thursday morning. You know what that means? Thursday? Wait. Football's back. Thursdays, Sundays, Mondays, moving forward, will not belong to my wife anymore. They will belong to me and my TV, motherfuckers.
Oh, boy.
I'm getting my life back. I'm taking control of my life.
Oh, my God.
And I'm so excited about it. Oh, God.
Me too.
I got NFL Plus just in case she takes over the TV.
Oh, my God.
I'm ready for anything.
Yeah, you are ready for anything.
We're going to have Red Zone on the laptop. I'll play a game on another laptop. Hell, I don't know what the hell I'll do this year. I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Or I'll just leave the house. I'll leave her by herself. I don't give a shit. Anyways, Sorry, guys. Just venting about my personal
Adam's
life
crawling
right now.
into his man cave with all his TVs. No, listen, I understand. This is the time. We've been waiting all summer for this. Really. I mean, it's ever since the Super Bowl.
Well, look, we got Anthony Broome coming on in, 10 minutes?
Right.
And before we do, I want to kind of lead up to this conversation about Michigan. So when Anthony comes on, obviously we have a few questions for him going into Saturday. But, Jeff, I want to make this point, and I want you to answer if I'm either very on point or very off. And hear me out first, because it's a bit aggressive. You know, I'm a big fan of college football and what it means not only in the country but just in general. The whole atmosphere is phenomenal. And this Saturday, Michigan fans, and you tell me, Michigan, all you Michigan fans out there, you tell me, what are you rooting for exactly on Saturday? You're 51-point favorites. Are you rooting for J.J. McCarthy to do absolutely phenomenal, dominate, look like a Heisman runner, front runner? Who knows? Yeah, I think most of you would want that, correct? Okay. Well, what if he plays just okay? Like Cade just played okay. I don't think anybody's rooting for that. I think that would be the worst case scenario for Michigan, is if JJ just went out there and looked okay. And the third, which I absolutely am not rooting for, but I would prefer it over the second option, and that's if JJ McCarthy just craps the bed.
I think either one has to happen.
It needs to be good or bad.
Yeah, I don't think there's an in-between, because then Jim Harbaugh's in a...
I'm glad we're on the same page
He's in
here.
a tough situation.
Because if JJ McCarthy goes out and absolutely plays to the level you all expect him to, including myself, everybody's happy. We move forward with the season. Michigan are a team that it will contend for a college football playoff spot this year. They're very talented. The defense looked good game one. It's Hawaii. I know the first 4 games are easy, but still, you saw some positive signs. You have to take away the positives. And now you have a dynamic quarterback leading the charge. Oh boy, am I happy about that for Michigan. The flip side, if JJ stinks to bed, you can go back to Cade, and you'll probably be 10-1 going into the Ohio State game with a chance to beat Ohio State and go back to the Big Ten championship game and secure another college football playoff appearance. Right? That's where we're at. And I think it's a good spot for Michigan. As much as I have been vocally against Cade McNamara starting, he's a good safe option.
Yeah, I think it's a win-win, to be honest with you.
He's that stock that you just ride, and it goes up slightly over a 10, 15, 20 year. It just never dips. It never spikes. It just does this. That's all right. I'll take it. Whatever. Make me some money. That's cool. J.J. McCarthy, right now, you saw a little bit of this, and his stock after Saturday is either going to go through the roof like Bitcoin when it came out,
or GameStop.
Or it's going to pull a GameStop the day after and totally go to the tank.
Yeah.
One of the two is going to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's the best case scenario for Michigan, is if one of the two happen. Because you need clarity. For all the crap I give Cade, there's clarity there. I know what I'm getting out of Cade. What am I getting out of JJ? And is it fair for his first career start that we're going to make that evaluation? You could make that argument that maybe it's not fair. But against Hawaii, with that porous defense, you have to go out and showcase your talent. And I'm not talking just running the ball. I am so tired of, JJ's, look at the run ability. That is great and all.
But his arm
But he
talent.
can drive the ball downfield, man. I don't want to see Ronnie Bell with 1 catch for 9 yards. I don't want to see Andrew Anthony with 1 catch. Start throwing and moving the ball downfield like I know you can, Michigan. You have the talent. And we'll bring this up with Anthony Broome, is I believe this is one of the more talented weapons they've had on offense in at least my lifetime. Donovan Edwards, Blake Corum, electric out of the backfield. Ronnie Bell, Andrell Anthony, Roman Wilson, speed everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Eric All, one of the better tight ends in all of college football.
Got some playmakers.
A good offensive line. Come on. So we'll see. We'll definitely see. But your thoughts, J.J. McCarthy, boom or bust? That's the best case scenario for Michigan, yes or no?
Yeah, I would agree with you. I think this game against Hawaii although I don't want to, I mean, it pretty much is, I would say, a guaranteed win. I mean, Hawaii gave up, 60 to Vanderbilt? So they're walking into a situation where JJ's going to play well. I don't think he won't. The question is, will he play extremely well, or will he just look solid? And I think he'll play extremely well, but that's the situation that Jim Harbaugh is going to have to figure out if it happens. If JJ comes out, he looks good, they beat Hawaii by, whatever it is, 40, 50 points, but you just don't get that wow factor out of JJ. That makes the decision much more harder for Jim Harbaugh. But to be honest with you, I think it's his job to lose. I think he's going to come out. I think he's going to play extremely well. He's going to light up Hawaii. I mean, to be honest with you, pretty much a varsity team. So I think JJ is built to go out and just destroy and light up Hawaii. So I don't think it will happen. The question is, Adam, and I'm curious to see this. It's a little just nugget. If they're up by 50 and JJ gets pulled, Cade gets in, right?
I'm against that.
That's what I was going to bring up to you.
I think Bowman should be out there.
So Cade does not
I think that's so disrespectful. Look, again, I'm not the biggest Cade fan.
Right.
I respect the hell out of him, though. I really do. He did accomplish what you have not accomplished, no quarterback has accomplished since 2004, and that is win the Big Ten as the starting quarterback of Michigan. He did that last year. Now, how much credit do you want to give him? That's where me and a lot of the Michigan fans probably deviate.
But he was the quarterback.
But he was the quarterback
of the team.
And you got to respect that. I don't think if they're up 50, let's say 52 to, I don't know, let's say 52 nothing.
Yeah, they're blowing them out.
Third quarter. It's a blowout. Yeah, just put in Bowman. Put in the orgy. I don't care what you got to do. Do whatever you got to do. I don't care. I wouldn't play Cade in that moment.
Okay.
I think Cade understands his role if JJ does take the job, and Cade's role is, I am ready at any moment. And for any reason, this football team needs me, their team captain, or one of their team captains, to step in if JJ gets hurt, or he's struggling, or he's down for a series, or two. I'm going to go in and play to the best of my abilities. I know I'm going to get that out of Cade.
Right.
But again, let's look at game one real quick. Are you surprised that Cade played the way he did? Any of you? Because I'm really not. And I don't even think it was awful. But it was just pedestrian. And that's what he is. And for all the hype that the Cade McNamara supporters out there, and you know who you are, for all the hype coming out of camp, the best camp ever. Throwing the ball downfield, never threw a more accurate ball. Boy, I didn't see that in the opener.
Yeah, it's a tough situation for both of these guys to be in. I mean, Cade has one game to prove his worth after what he did last season, so it is unfair. But to your point, JJ's here, and he might be here to stay. We'll find out.
Last question before we move on and bring on Anthony. Ransom says, I have a scenario in my head where Harbaugh lets this play out another 2 weeks with the quarterback battle.
I wouldn't have an issue with that,
really?
Considering how bad the schedule. I mean, maybe against Iowa you hesitate, but you play UConn the following week.
And then Maryland, and I think Iowa after.
I think those Maryland and UConn, you can definitely afford to do. I mean, both these quarterbacks can beat either of those teams.
Well, if JJ goes out and plays to
and
the
he
level
dominates,
I don't think it's a conversation, right?
I think that question would only be if he comes out and he's he doesn't
shaky?
wow you. Yeah, a little shaky. Maybe you keep it going.
Look,
but still, asking, I don't
and I'm
think
not telling Michigan to change the way they play football, by the way. Keep running the ball. If you can run effectively on a team, do it.
Yeah, do it.
I don't mind. But do me a favor. Open up the playbook a little bit. Not because I want to be entertained. No. Get the reps in now. Get the team confident that you can move and throw the ball downfield. We saw this with Kate Klubnik, man. For all of DJ's improvements that he has made, I have to give him credit. He did step up when his team needed him against Georgia Tech. Klubnik came in. Yes, it was at the end of the game. Yes, Georgia Tech was deflated. But still, he came in. He moved the ball.
Yeah,
he had zip on his throw.
He was airing
and you're like,
out.
oh, you know what? That's what a quarterback looks like. Whoops, I forgot. When we get back, Anthony Broome joining us to talk about Michigan football, the J.J. McCarthy, Cade McNamara situation, and much, much more. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at the Sports Marketing Agency.
Yes, guys, let me tell you about our friends at SMA, because the Sports Marketing Agency helps spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse. Their new podcast, This is the F Word, helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addictions. Go to thesportsma.com if you're struggling or know someone who is.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Detroit's downtown summer playground is back. Open all summer long, the Monroe Street Midway. Enjoy roller skating, free Wi-Fi, food trucks, art installations, and so much more. Don't forget to take advantage of the basketball court, putt-putt, and, of course, family programming all summer long. All art installations are done by Detroit artists, and it's a fun, safe event from people 1 to 100. Go to deckedoutdetroit.com.
Woodward Avenue, the first paved road in America. Woodward Sports, the first sports network born in Detroit and made for Detroit.
Jeff Iafrate here. I'm going to tell you about our friends at the Fulling Warehouse in Hamtramck because it's the home of the original football bowling game. 2 to play, $12, or you can have the unlimited open play. $120, you can get a lane reservation for up to 10 people. $2 mystery beer machine and a full bar. All of these things. Go check it out. FullingWarehouse.com.
All right, we're back here on a beautiful Thursday morning. Football is back. And we are joined by one of my favorite people I've met since being a part of this network, and that is Anthony Broome. Anthony, good morning, buddy.
Good morning. Wow, that's high praise. Favorite people.
Yay.
I mean, come on.
Who needs coffee in the morning?
Hey. Hey, I like it, man. I like it. Look, Anthony, I got to say, I love the hat, love the gear. I saw the gear you posted on Twitter. Really, really dope. I'm excited for the season, but I'll let Jeff start. He's got a question I think, we just kind of covered a little bit. Really want your thoughts on the quarterback situation, Jeff.
Anthony, number one, thank you for joining us. But number two, I did want to ask you, because I heard over the weekend Joe Klatt say something very interesting, and I want to hear your opinion on it. He said the easiest outcome for Harbaugh would be for JJ to either have a great game or a bad game, because if he comes out and has a mid game, that it's going to make this decision a lot more harder for Jim Harbaugh to decide. And if that happens, how does Jim Harbaugh handle that going forward?
Yeah, I think that obviously the worst case scenario is that JJ comes out and completely craps the bed, right, against a team you're a 51-point favorite against. I mean, I don't want to say that this is being rigged in his favor, so to speak, but I've been pretty outspoken about the fact that I really do feel like this all feels like a quasi-coronation to me. So as long as JJ does his job, moves the offense, I mean, he inherently, just by being, and this is no disrespect to Cade McNamara, although Adham may think it is full disrespect to Cade McNamara. That's his guy after all. When you bring JJ on the field, there's just inherently, there is more attention he draws just by being on the field because he has the dual threat ability, right? He's a guy where, when he's running the option, like he comes in the game Saturday and does, I mean, immediately the fact, CJ Stokes is able to rip off a big run because this defense crashes down on JJ McCarthy. So it's one of those things where now, we know inherently what he can do, right? He's got the dual threat ability. He's fast. I mean, he told us this week when we talked to him that he's running right now in the 4.5s, which is crazy at the quarterback position. As long as he plays a clean game, everything else, I mean, it's that other stuff, the playmaking ability, the legs, the running, the effect it has on the run game. I mean, those are all notches he has in his belt above Cade McNamara. I really do think all things being equal, and if they come out of these first 2 weeks and they're still I'm not sure, I just feel like, long term, a guy like McCarthy just has the edge because he can do so many different things.
Anthony, the game against Colorado State, there wasn't a wide receiver or just a player in general on the team that had more than 2 receptions. They capped out at 2. Roman Wilson led the team with 2 receptions on 65 yards. Eric All 1 catch. Ronnie Bell 1 catch. Blake Corum 1 catch. Donovan Edwards 1 catch. AJ Henning, Andrell Anthony all 1 catch. Look, I'm not, again, I prefaced this before you came on. I don't need them to open up the offense and completely go gung-ho. They don't need to go out and throw 50 times against Hawaii. They don't need to do that. If they can run the ball effectively, they should do it. That's their game plan. That's their or I would say that's their preferred method of playing. They're a run-first team, but I would like to see 23, 25, maybe even 27 attempts from J.J. McCarthy on Saturday, because if he goes out and let's say 12 of 16, 140 yards, 2 touchdowns, and they just blow out Hawaii, they run for 300-400 yards as a team, you know, it's definitive. You feel good about it, but at the same time, I think you want to make it clear, like, hey, his throwing ability is significantly better than Cade McNamara's. This is why we're turning to this kid. It's not just about the running ability. How important is it that they do open up the playbook? Because Ronnie Bell having 1 catch, Andrew Anthony 1 catch, yes, it's a blowout win, but you want to see them really gain some confidence and some synergy going into the season.
Yeah, I wouldn't put a ton of stock into who has what amount of catches, because I think when you look at, I think 15 different guys caught a pass on Saturday. So they have a lot of guys they can spread the ball around to. I think even if they open up the offense, there'll probably be games where your leading receiver only has 3, 4, maybe 5 catches. So I don't put as much stock into that. And I don't think that they need to come out and, because let's call a spade. This is J.J. McCarthy's start, but really it's probably J.J. McCarthy's half. If they do what they're supposed to do against Hawaii, you're going to start seeing, the bench get emptied either at halftime or a little bit after that. I think for me, the things I'm looking for is, maybe 20 throws or so. It feels like Cade got 18 last week, but there was a drive where they went all run just because it seemed like they needed a spark somewhere, and they got it from Blake Corum and Donovan Edwards. But I would say about 20 throws, and it's less about, he doesn't need to go 18 for 20 for 260 yards and 5 touchdowns. Like, it doesn't need to be like these NCAA video game type numbers, but, I'm looking at how sharp it looks. I'm looking at how crisp your reads are. I'm looking at how quickly the ball comes out. It's less about, all of J.J. McCarthy's plays on his highlight reel are, ripping the ball down the field last year or in this game last weekend, just, getting out in space in the run game. It's more about the little things, because there are times where, like, even throws just out to the numbers, off Cade McNamara's hand, sometimes it takes a little longer to get out there. But JJ had a similar throw on Saturday where you got to get that out to the hash mark or the number, and that thing is, it zips in there. Little things like that. So I'm less worried about the numbers and more about just how clean and crisp it looks. Play a clean game. Don't miss. Don't throw behind guys. That's more or less what the criteria is. I don't know that this will be an open and shut case after this game, because if you just look at Vegas projections, they are expecting Michigan to win like 60-8. So it's respect your opponent a little bit more than calling them traffic cones like I have, but this could also be the worst team in the FBS. So I don't know that things will be settled. I don't know that it'll be open and shut this week, but J.J. McCarthy has a chance to really. Right now it's hard on Michigan coaches. If he balls out on Saturday, I think that could be what wraps it up.
Well, speaking of Michigan coaches, Jim Harbaugh coming off his first college football playoff appearance, first Big Ten title, and yesterday I drew the comparison between him and Dabo, and essentially where I was going was through Dabo's first 8 seasons, he had a 74% win percentage. And he was just coming off his first college football playoff appearance where Deshaun Watson and company did lose, I believe, to Alabama in the national championship game. And then Michigan's Jim Harbaugh, 72% win percentage in his first 7 years, coming off his first college football playoff appearance. And really where Dabo took off, and we're hopefully going to see Michigan take off, is, yes, they had Deshaun Watson, but it was Deshaun Watson, and then it was Trevor Lawrence. There was this immediate transition where they were phenomenal, dynamic at quarterback. And I look at Michigan now coming off their first college football playoff appearance, and I say to myself, okay, is it J.J. McCarthy? And then whoever that potential 4 or 5 star in the future that they may have? Am I reaching a little bit on the Clemson comparison, even though reality is Michigan still recruit at a very high level. The talent is there, but can they get the talent at the right positions now? I think J.J. McCarthy allows them to do that. But am I reaching on the next 4 years? I don't think they win 2 national titles at Michigan in the next 4 years, but I think they can at least really be in that conversation consistently with this move. Yes or no?
You're onto something there. I mean, something that people don't talk about a ton, or maybe it has been talked about a ton, and I've had my head buried in the sand, is that, when you look at the way those two, Clemson and Michigan, those two programs recruit, it's actually been pretty similar rankings-wise and things like that. The difference has been that Clemson has brought in a couple of guys that are generational program-changing quarterbacks, and Michigan, it's taken some time to do that. I would hesitate to say they are on the same Clemson path, only because Clemson didn't have, I guess Florida State for a bit, but Clemson doesn't have an Ohio State in their conference, or didn't when they were on their run a couple years ago. So that's always going to create a little bit of, at best, you're always not at best, but you're hoping, objectively speaking, that if you're Michigan, you can kind of split your games against Ohio State instead of winning once every 10 years. That's the biggest obstacle, and maybe that's not even as big a deal anymore, which I hate to say, given the fact that the playoff is going to expand. But I could see it. J.J. McCarthy is, from a pure talent standpoint, and I'm not that old a person. None of us on this current broadcast are, but I think he's easily the most talented quarterback from a skill set perspective that Michigan has had since Denard Robinson. Denard couldn't really throw the ball, though, so you probably have to go back farther than that. This is like, from a pure talent perspective, this guy is what a lot of people thought that Drew Henson could be or would be. I have no doubts that once he gets on the field, whether it be, week 3 where he's named the starter moving forward, or maybe later this year, or maybe somehow Cade McNamara comes out of nowhere and holds him off for one more year. When this guy is ready to roll, I think he's one of the most purely talented passers that Michigan's had at that position in a long time. And it took a while for Harbaugh to get there. They could kind of keep the train rolling. Saturday night, they have a 5-star quarterback in town, 2024, in Jaden Davis. So if you're looking at this succession plan where JJ balls out, takes the job Saturday, you have this big 5-star recruit in town, he winds up committing to Michigan, all of a sudden you kind of have a path forward, right? So it's not out of the question. What Clemson did, I think, was kind of buoyed by the fact that they played in a really crappy ACC, but they dominated the ACC too. So if you're a team that has those goals and those aspirations to get back, you just find a way to do it. And I think that starts moving forward at the quarterback position, whatever comes out of that.
Anthony, I want to ask you about the other side of the football, defensively, because everyone talks about what Michigan has offensively, but defensively, you saw against Colorado State, 7 sacks, 11 tackles for loss. Is the defense this year going to be get to the quarterback by committee, or is there any specific players that you are looking for this year to kind of stand out, like last year with Adham Hockenson and David Ajabo?
I think that their mentality is that they want everybody to eat. That was the quote that we heard a lot this week from Jesse Minter, the defensive coordinator, from players we talked to. They think they can do it by committee. And Saturday, again, comes with the caveat that it's Colorado State, but it seems like everyone who got in there found a way to get pressure. And, they were throwing some exotic looks out there. They were bringing pressures from all 3 levels of the defense. So, yeah, they don't have an Aiden Hutchinson on the roster. They might not have a David Ojabo on the roster, but they've got a lot of guys where, like I said, they go, based on what I saw Saturday, they go 5-6 deep in terms of guys that got to the quarterback. And I would think at some point there will be 2, 3, maybe 4 guys that kind of emerge to be that rotation for them. But, a guy like, for example, Jim Harbaugh has called this defense a no-star defense, meaning that he thinks everybody has a chance to contribute, and they think that they can be a better unit than they were last year overall. And, based on Saturday, I believe that. But someone who I would keep a close eye on is Jalen Harrell, a guy who he would come in last year for David Ojabo when they needed someone to set an edge, to also, run, defend, all those things. He's a guy that can drop back into coverage. His pass rush skill set has improved, and you could see it. And you got 7 pressures on Saturday, only half a sack, but if his pass rush stays consistent, that's a guy that immediately becomes a top 3 player on your defense. So I do think there will be guys that emerge. Harrell's a guy I've been on all offseason as someone who has a chance to do that. But they have a lot of guys, too. I mean, Braden McGregor has been there a minute. Taylor Upshaw has been there. Mike Morris is a versatile piece. Iabe Anoma, who just transferred in, not even a month ago, former 5-star recruit, he gets a sack on his first snap of the game. So, I mean, talk about constant competition at quarterback. You're seeing it in this edge rush rotation, too, and it's not combative there. Everyone's just looking to get in the game and get to the quarterback, and I think that's depth that Michigan didn't have last year. And that's, again, you lose the star power, and that's been a huge storyline, but they are so much deeper, and I think a little bit more athletic at every level of their defense this year, and it's paying early dividends. I know people said it's Colorado State, but that's what it's supposed to look like when you play a team like
100%.
that. It has to be done.
100%.
So, yeah, it was. I mean, passed that test for sure.
Well, Anthony, can't thank you enough for joining us this morning. Appreciate it so much. Definitely get you on next Tuesday for sure. Recap the game, hopefully. Good luck this weekend, man. I'm excited to watch J.J. McCarthy play. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks, Anthony.
Sounds great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Anthony.
Go Blue, Spartans suck balls.
Fish.
Yeah.
You see what this guy does? You just
Was
commit
your mic muted or no?
No, it was on.
Huh.
He knew. He knew what he was doing.
Fish.
Yeah.
You know I love you, right? I mean this.
Sometimes.
I mean this in the most loving way.
Shut the fuck up.
Shut the fuck up and suck my dick.
Oh my God.
Having said that, we'll be right back. Top of the hour coming up. When we get back, Frank Ragnow dealing with groin injuries, concerned with the offensive line health going into the season. God bless you, Fish. But before we go, I got to tell you about our good friends over at Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Lady Jane's open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime, no appointment necessary. Their awesome stylists will take care of you like they take care of me. Hot leather neck shaves, precision haircuts, they do it all. Walk in anytime. Football season starts today, guys. If you want to come out on a Sunday, get your haircut. The games will be on the TVs. They've got you covered. Again, Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
The sports marketing agency would not be who we are without great community partners like Higuera Health and Carol Zaniga.
It's an awesome opportunity to partner with your organization. Higuera Health is a comprehensive behavioral health organization. We serve children through older adults with mental health, substance use, and developmental disabilities across Western Wayne counties, and really excited to now be in downriver communities as well. Give us a call at 734-458-4601.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
The only sports network in Detroit that starts with a W. You know, because we win. Woodward Sports, Detroit's winning sports network.
OddsTrader.com is the #1 site for your game day bets, play-by-play updates, live scores, and they have the best price from every game from multiple sports books. Take it from me. I'm a simple guy. I go to OddsTrader. You have all the sports books right in front of you. You don't got to turn on your phone. You go all the different apps and look at all these different sports books. No, it's simple. OddsTrader makes it simple for you, and that's why you need to go to OddsTrader.com right now for your best bet.
All right, we're back. Top of the hour brought to you by our good friends over at Bedrock Detroit. Jeff, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Frank Ragnow sat out yesterday dealing with some groin injuries. How concerned should we be with the offensive line's health going into the season? Is the season already on the brink of collapse with injuries at the offensive line position?
Well, we did talk about this yesterday, and the one thing that came up was we're lucky that this training camp, there hasn't really been injuries until Vaitai was out, and now you have Frank Ragnow, which I don't think is a bad injury. It's reportedly a sore groin. So hopefully it stays that way and he can get back sooner than later. But with Frank, though, I mean, that's a worry. You didn't have Frank last year, and Evan Brown played really solid for the Lions. But the thing is, like, he's the best player on your offensive line, and not just that, he's one of the best centers in the NFL. So it's an issue. You want him to be at 100% for the Eagles game. It's looking rough. I mean, you have literally 3 days until you play, and he has a sore groin. So if I was saying I wasn't worried, I'd be lying. But you can look at it like this. It could be way worse. For Frank, and I know people have talked about this too, moving Frank to guard. I don't agree with moving a player when he's been so dominant at one position to the guard position. He deserves to play center. Hopefully he gets healthy. I don't think it's anything to panic about. If he had a significant injury at him that put him out for the whole season, I would be concerned. But hopefully this sore groin, it'll heal up and we'll have Frank back sooner than later. But it's not like last year. Let's calm down a little bit. You lost a lot more guys last year than you will this year. So we'll see. It's too early to freak out, but it's certainly something you got to be concerned about. Because Frank's getting injured.
It's not what you want to see going into a season.
No, it isn't. Right before the game, 3 days.
Especially on offensive line, where last year you didn't get them all at the same time healthy. Vaitai goes down not too long ago, so you're going to go into 2022 without your starting 5. And now to lose Frank Ragnow, I think, would be absolutely devastating. If it is anything serious, it doesn't look to be. Looks to be just a groin strain. Shouldn't be anything too significant. Should be ready for Sunday. But this will be a problem. You want to talk about things that will derail your season? Your offensive line not being healthy. Now, again, do they have the weapons? Do I believe Jared Goff will be more confident than last year? Will they make more plays? Sure. But boy, the key foundation, the strength of this offense going into the year was the offensive line. Because you could run at any point. It would set you up for play action, deception, motion, whatever you wanted to do on offense. It gave you that flexibility to do. Mm-hmm. And you will lose that if this is the case. That's concerning. Again, I know it's really early, nothing serious with Frank right now, but you want to talk about things that will derail this season. You can't have these injuries. And you know what? I'm sorry. Even if you do have these injuries, you still need to go out and take care of business. That will not be an excuse. It will hurt you. It will not allow you to be as good as you think you can be.
Right.
But you have to find a way to overcome it. It can't just be, we have a few injuries, book the season, it's done, whatever, like on to next year. No, fuck that. You cannot think that way. And that cannot be the mentality going into the season. No. I don't care if you lose Penei Sewell at this point. Go out and show me that you've improved. The quarterback's improved. The wide receiving room has improved. The running backs hopefully stay healthy. Hockenson comes out and has a good year. That is a must. With an offensive line or not, that has to happen. Without an offensive line or not, your coaches have to make better decisions. You have to look better on offense. Defense has to improve. These are things that have to happen regardless of injuries. Mm-hmm. You can't just throw away the season. Tough times. Tough times. Not the news you want to hear going into Sunday.
No, it's not. And one thing I have been preaching too is besides Jared Goff, the two most important things on this football team are the defensive and the offensive line. Now, you have 2 injuries already to your offensive line, and it's obviously something to be concerned about. But if you look at last season, even Frank missing last season, Evan Brown still stepped in and you're able to run the football and you're able to protect Jared Goff. So I'm not going to sit here and say it's the worst thing in the world because it's not like Frank's out for the season. If he was, I'd be concerned. He's not. He might miss the Eagles game. I don't think so, considering knowing who Frank is and how tough he is. I think he'll be there. But to your point, Adam, when the two things, or to the point I made yesterday, the 2 things that are most important besides Jared to me are the offensive and defensive line. You can't afford to lose any of those guys, man. So hopefully Frank gets back for the sake of Jared, for the sake of the running backs. But again, it's not so, like you said, you got to find a way to win regardless. It's next man up. And I think Dan's been preaching that in training camp, so I don't think anything changes for them. Whether Frank is there or Frank isn't. Still got to find a way to win.
It's a wait and see, but not what you want to hear going into the year. Hopefully he's just fine. Hopefully it's nothing too major. It doesn't seem to be anything serious as of now, so we won't make more of a deal than it is. Coming up, Jeff, 9/17. Mm-hmm. We'll give away our regular season award predictions. I can't wait for that. By the way, you haven't seen mine.
But you've seen mine.
I've seen yours, though.
I have one of those, which I struggled, and I want to talk about it when we get there.
Can I take a guess?
Which one was it?
I'm going to say you struggled giving away the... I'm going to say Offensive Rookie of the Year.
It was offensive, but not Rookie of the Year.
Offensive Player of the Year?
I struggled.
Well,
I struggled.
We didn't agree, even though JJ's my guy. But we'll get to that later. JJ's my guy, but we didn't agree there. Let's answer some questions in the chat. What's worse? Dan Campbell's considering kicking Sewell inside to right guard and letting a backup play right tackle.
What do you think about that, by the way? That Frank, if Frank plays, do you think Frank stays at center, you throw in Evan Brown, you move him to guard, or do you think they move Frank to guard, which he's played
Frank to guard,
which he's played his rookie year? I think it's stupid. I think he deserves to stay at center.
Look, you know what? To be honest with you guys, my job is to tell you what I think and go over what happens on Sundays. And if on Sunday Frank Ragnow lines up at guard and all this plays out and they do fine, I'll praise it. If it doesn't go well, I'll fucking murder them. It's that simple. You win, you get compliments. You lose, you don't get compliments.
That's it.
It's that simple. I mean, honest to God. We're what, 3-4 days away from the season now? Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 days. 3 more days. 3 more sleeps before you get Sunday football with the Lions. Whether he's at center, right guard, right tackle, I don't care. The coach's job, their core responsibility, is to field the best possible team on any given Sunday and go out and try to win that football game every single week. And yes, do I factor that injuries do hurt the team? Yes, absolutely. Context does matter. But if you want to throw Ragnow at center, or you want to, move him to guard, or you want to move Pineda to the guard position,
I don't.
Fine.
I don't.
Whatever. You're the coaches, not me. But don't cry and send me a goddamn letter. Oh, why'd you say that? When it doesn't work out. Do me a favor. Make decisions you think are best for the team. Go for it. You think moving Ragnow to right guard is the play? Go for it. You think it's Pinay? Go for it. Do I agree? I don't have to agree. No, I don't. But that's a tough situation to be in.
I just want Pinay to play a full season at a position. That's all I ask. So keep Pinay at right tackle, please. Don't move him. That's me telling you this. And I get Hank Fraley. Hank Fraley knows more than both of us, but still. I think you can look at the best offensive line. If the line up right now with Vaitai injured, I guess it would be Frank at the guard, because if you have Evan Brown at center, he played really well at center, Frank at guard. I mean, it is the most talented lineup. I don't like the idea of moving a player when he's one of the best at that position. Like, if Frank's one of the best centers in the NFL, I don't think he should be moved. That's just my opinion, but we'll see. I think that's going to be something to watch before Sunday's game, is how that offensive line shapes up and if Frank plays.
That's fair. And again, you know what? Regarding Frank, I don't mind him moving to guard, given that Evan Brown is arguably, I would say, the most capable backup they have on the team.
Absolutely.
Fair?
Fair.
Having said that, let's all not get it twisted what happened last year. Penei Sewell struggled at right tackle in the preseason. And what happened? Taylor Decker got hurt before the Niner game. Moved him to left tackle, and boy did he look good. Boy did he get comfortable. And for the next 6, 7, 8 weeks, he caught up to the speed of the NFL at left tackle. Taylor Decker came back, moved to right tackle. He was equipped for the speed of the game, and he did phenomenal at right tackle. But don't get it twisted. He absolutely sucked at right tackle during preseason. And one of the favorable things that did happen for him is that he was able to go to left tackle, his natural position, and go up against Nick Bosa. Go up against the Packers, the Bears. All those games, whether he struggled or not, he got better and better and better. And then, to be fair, he dominated at right tackle. He was one of the better right tackles down the stretch, according to PFF. So I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. A lot of question marks. I hate injuries, man. I hate injuries, but it's part of the game.
Yep.
And like we said, you have to adapt.
Mike Vrabel last year. Talk about losing players.
You have to adapt.
Yeah.
If you need to move Ragnow to guard, go for it. If you don't, and you want to throw Pinay there, be my guest. I don't care at this point. That will not be the reason why you lose a football game. That I can promise you guys. You will not lose a football game because you have to shift around some players to field a healthy offensive line. I promise you. You will lose a game because of execution and talent and coaching. Simple. And that's what we're going to watch for on Sunday. When we get back, NFL awards, we'll predict who we think are going to win all the awards that the NFL will give out this week, this year. Jared Goff versus Jalen Hurts, We'll do a full quarterback comp at 9:29. Break down who has the advantage going into Sunday, and much, much more. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Cintron.
Yes, well, Cintron is the official energy drink of the Red Wings. As you guys can tell, listen, what is this, day 4? Cintron in my hand. Sugar-free. It's delicious. They also have all 3 of their flavors into a limited edition 6-pack sampler box, which you can pre-order. Order online at cintronworld.com/Red Wings. Guys, don't forget, get energized with Cintron.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
Hi, I'm John from Better Rate Mortgage, and to me, family is more than blood. That's why I have the biggest family in Metro Detroit. If you're looking to buy a house or refinance and need a loan, come get treated better than family by me and our entire team here at Better Rate Mortgage. We pride ourselves on giving you better advice, better service, and a better loan experience. That's why we are Better Rate. If you're looking for a new mortgage, come get treated like family. Actually, better with Better Rate Mortgage. Visit us at mybetterrate.com or call at 248-480-4467 today.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
The Monroe Street Midway is open until September 25th. You still have time to experience Detroit with roller skating, mini golf, art installations, live music, food trucks, and much, much, much more. A fun, safe family event for everybody to go to. Check out deckedoutdetroit.com for more information. We'll see you all at the Monroe Street Midway. And we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show. Jeff Iafrate, Adham Beydoun with the honors this morning. Jeff, regular season award time. We did this last year. Let's see if we can have a better winning percentage this year. All right, we'll start with MVPs.
Okay.
All right. The 2022 MVP in the NFL will be
Josh Allen.
That's a good pick.
Because I think I have the Bills as the best team in the NFL. So if you're going by the best team, I think he's going to be the quarterback of the best team, and he'll have a phenomenal season. So he had a breakout year last year, and I think he can get even better. So I'm going to go Josh Allen.
I'm going Justin Herbert.
You know what's funny, before you say that? These were the two I kept going back and forth about. These are the two right here, I think.
I'm telling you, Justin Herbert may throw for 5,800 yards.
Oh, my God.
He may push for 6. In that offense, with those weapons, he will have a year we probably haven't seen. I would argue he could push for 50 touchdown passes.
Jesus.
He's my MVP this year. I think they win the division. Obviously, we both have them winning the division.
Yeah.
For him to win that division is a huge, huge check mark that a lot of people are going to be looking at when they cast their ballots for MVP. So I got Justin Herbert. You got Josh Allen. I don't mind it, though.
Yeah,
Josh Allen, dual threat. I think he should have won MVP 2 years ago when Rodgers won it.
Right.
That's a whole different conversation, but for me, Justin Herbert, 100%. Moving on to Offensive Player of the Year. I know you struggled with this. You had Justin Jefferson, you said, right?
I did.
All right, I may be very biased here. I may be very biased. But the Offensive Player of the Year for me, it's going to be Christian McCaffrey.
Listen, I would love this. My fantasy team would
That's
love
why
this.
I have him in my fantasy team too. I am one of the people that drafted CMC at number 2 overall. I'm going all in on CMC this year. Offensive Player of the Year. I think Justin Jefferson, by the way, is a great pick. I think he's a guy that could push for 1,800 yards.
Right.
He could fight for the Triple Crown. We saw Cooper Kupp do it last year. The catches, maybe not, but definitely yards and touchdowns.
Yep.
I think he'll be up there. So he's going to be in that conversation. I think a healthy Christian McCaffrey for 17 games.
Who knows?
That's an Offensive Player of the Year for me. It's a great story. I'm going with CMC.
And with Justin Jefferson, my ideology is you have Kevin O'Connell, offensive coordinator of the Rams last year with Cooper Kupp. You know they're going to utilize the play action. They're going to be running the football. And that leaves a lot more opportunities, I think, for Justin Jefferson. Listen, I get it. Adam Thielen as well is right alongside him. But I really do think Justin Jefferson's in for a big, big season. And he's had 2 seasons already that were very impressive, 1,500 yards per season. But I think he can get even better. So, like you said, if he gets 1,800 yards, I think he can do it. The only reason why, and I see people mentioning Kupp.
I don't know why we're doing this. Why mention Kupp? Kupp is coming off a Triple Crown season. But is he going to do that again?
And you also have Allen Robinson, which I think is going to just take a little bit off of that.
Even if it does, do we expect him to lead the league in all 3 categories again?
No, I don't.
Do we expect him to go for the same amount of catches, yards, and touchdowns that he did last year? I mean, last year is probably the greatest season you can ever have as a wide receiver. I don't know how you improve on that.
Right, it's like Calvin Johnson when he had that ridiculous season for 1,900 yards.
Jonathan Taylor's a good one. I see Jonathan Taylor in the chat. Derek Carr, interesting. Justin Herbert and Josh Allen, you could really throw into that conversation.
Yeah.
But
I almost put a quarterback, but I'm gonna go with Justin. I'm gonna go with Justin Jefferson.
I don't mind it. Defensive Player of the Year. Who do you got winning it?
Myles Garrett.
Myles Garrett.
He deserves it. I mean, the guy last year he had 16, I believe, or 17 sacks. It's like the guy just under the radar. I guess it's not really under the radar, but not a defensive player of the year. He deserves it. And I think this is the year for him to go get it. A Cleveland defense, which, has talent on it, but with Myles Garrett, he's consistent. The last 4 seasons, he's had double-digit sacks, and I think there's a level he can even take it higher. I think he can get to 20 sacks. So I really do. I have faith in Myles Garrett, and I think he can do it this year. So I got him as my defensive player of the year, but again, there's a lot of other options. I see you chose Joey Bosa.
Joey Bosa is my pick. Joey Bosa has led or been part of the top 3 to 5 players in terms of pass rushes gotten to the quarterback over the NFL since he got in there. And that's a big stat because if you look at his sacks, he's only got 58 through 6 years, right? 10.5, 12.5, 5.5, 11.5, 7.5, 10.5 last year playing 16 games. I think this year he's going to push for 20 sacks. I think this is his breakout season. I think he'll be somewhere between 18 and 19.5 sacks. Joey Bosa, for me, Defensive Player of the Year. On a Chargers team that now has Khalil Mack, J.C. Jackson, Derwin James. Good luck. Good luck dealing with Los Angeles. I think he's going to be an absolute menace this year. He's my pick for Defensive Player.
Liking the Chargers, I see. I like it. I like it.
Oh, we still got to get to Coach of the Year.
Oh,
I saw what you did. Offensive Rookie of the Year. I struggled with this one.
Me too.
I
think it's a wide open race.
I did not like voting on Offensive Rookie of the Year because there is no clear one.
No, there isn't.
And Kenny Pickett's the #1 favorite right now. He's not even the starter. Kenneth Walker in Seattle. You have Drake London, all these guys. But the guy I'm going with is Chris Olave in New Orleans. New Orleans is going to be a team that's going to throw the ball a lot. I think Chris Olave is going to be, honestly, the only receiver to surpass 1,000 yards this year that's a rookie. I don't think London will. I don't see Garrett Wilson doing it. I don't see any of these guys doing it. I think this season Chris Olave will be the single receiver that goes for over 1,000 yards. And I think it'll be somewhere around 73, 77 catches, 1,050 to 1,100 yards, 4 to 7 touchdowns at most.
And I like Breece Hall for a lot of reasons. But number one, you have Joe Flacco for the first 4 games. So they're going to be running the football. And I think Breece Hall is just a more talented runner. He's a better in between the tackles than Michael Carter. I think Michael Carter's a better receiving option, but no doubt Breece Hall. I get it. The Jets are being hard on the rookies. He has to earn it and earn playing time, but trust me, he's got the talent to do so. I think week 1 he makes plays, and then to end the season he's going to be consistent. And I get it with the Jets. They're going to be running the football. I mean, whether you like it or not. So give me Breece Hall. I think he has a good chance. I know Dameon Pierce for the Texans is another one that was mentioned, but I'm going to go with my gut. I'm going to go with Breece Hall.
Dameon Pierce is an interesting one. I definitely agree. He is going to be the one back in Houston. Just is he going to run for 1,000 and catch 400 or 500 yards? Is he going to go for over 1,500 all-purpose? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I'm confident in Chris Olave. That's my pick.
Yeah.
Defensive Rookie of the Year. No controversy.
Yeah,
we both agree.
Yeah, this is easy.
And it's not even close. There's one player that will win it this year. I think he'll do it with 8.5 to 9.5 sacks, and that is Aiden Hutchinson. Jeff, you chose him as well. Go for it.
Yeah, easily. Aiden Hutchinson, because of the situation he's in as well. Kayvon Thibodeau was the only one to me that is in close contest, but the difference is Kayvon's coming off an injury now, so he's going to have to rehab, get back, get 100%. Aiden's been getting all the reps He's been getting all the experience through preseason. I think he's poised to go and have a really, really good rookie season. So give me Aiden Hutchinson. It's hard because he's going to get all the sacks. You have Charles Harris, who had 7.5 last year, but besides Charles Harris, Romeo Okwara is going to be out. It's the Aiden Hutchinson show. So give me Aiden Hutchinson to win Defensive Rookie of the Year.
I agree 100%. It's Aiden Hutchinson. That's my pick. 5 of the last 6 pass rushers taken number 2 overall.
Tell them.
Have won the award, and it will be the 4th straight Big Ten player to win the award. I believe it's... Who am I missing here? I believe it's Nick Bosa, Chase Young, Micah Parsons, and now, hopefully this year, Aiden Hutchinson. Questions in the chat, going back to Offensive Rookie of the Year, just real quick. If Jameson Williams wasn't injured and he started the year fresh with the Lions, would you have put him up for Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I'd think about it.
I would have considered it.
I would have considered it. I might have even selected him, to be honest with you. If I knew, because
he would have been in my top 3, but I still probably would have gone with Olave because how many targets is J-Mo going to get?
That's where I was getting to. How deep the wide receiver room is. If it was the clear-cut number 1, I'd pick him. But again, Breece Hall, I think in New York, they're going to be using Breece Hall a lot. So in terms of touches, I'm going to go with Breece Hall. But it's a great point to bring up.
For Defensive Rookie of the Year, I do agree with a lot of you in the chat. Karlaftis has looked really good.
He's
in
a
Kansas
sleeper.
City.
Yeah.
He's done very good.
We've talked about
in the
him
draft.
To top 10. We were talking about him.
He fell in the draft all the way to 20, somewhere in the early to mid-20s, I believe, with Kansas City. Maybe even late.
Yeah.
If I don't recall exactly.
That's
but long story short, he had a hell of a preseason. He'll be a very important piece on that defense. And let's wrap it up. Coach of the Year. Jeff?
Had to go with Brandon Staley. I struggled here because it was either... this is where I struggled. Brandon Staley, I feel like the Chargers, and we went through it yesterday, is a top 3 team in the NFL, I think, roster-wise. But the problem is they're in a tough division. So you have to go out and prove it. My other guy I considered was Sean McDermott. That was the only one I questioned, and I went back and forth with it. And ultimately... I didn't like having an MVP and a Coach of the Year in the same, both on the Bills. So I went Brandon Staley. I think they have a lot to prove this year. Last year, where they go 9-8 with all those mistakes, if you can win 11, 12 games in that division, he deserves Coach of the Year. So give me Brandon Staley. I think there's enough talent on the Chargers roster to kind of back that statement up. But yeah, I'm going with my gut. I'm going to go with Brandon Staley.
All right, Alex, whenever you can, please, I have a special surprise.
What in the hell?
For Jeff this morning.
From number 1 pick to Coach of the Year.
My Coach of the Year this season will be the division-winning Jacksonville Jaguars head coach, Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence, I think, are a great fit for Trevor going into year 2. I think he will develop significantly. He's going to have a very good season. And if I am correct, and the Jacksonville Jaguars do win their division with the Titans and Mike Vrabel, and with the Colts and Frank Wright and Jonathan Taylor in that roster, that's your Coach of the Year. Nobody outside of Dan Campbell, I think, has a better story and a better argument than Doug Peterson. Because remember, Dan Campbell got a lot of love. He's getting a lot of the bets for Coach of the Year. Dan Campbell wins 9-10 games this year. He's going to be in that conversation. But a division winner from last to first, from Urban Meyer to Trevor Lawrence is everything you thought he was. That's the story for me. I think Doug Peterson, Coach of the Year, 100%. If the Jaguars can win that division, don't sleep on Dan Campbell either if he can pull out 9-10 wins this year.
I think the biggest thing, too, is for Coach of the Year. I feel like narrative matters, and you just brought it up. Like with Doug, he has the narrative. Like the disaster that Jacksonville was last year, he has that going for him. And I think if they can win, like you said, if they win the division, I wouldn't have a problem if they gave it to him. I mean, from where they were last year in the disaster.
Who else outside of the Lions, if they won their division this year, would you seal it and give them Coach of the Year?
It would be the Jags.
Be the Jaguars.
Yeah, no question.
John Harbaugh going from last to first is kind of not a thing because it's Baltimore, right? You have that expectation they're going to win the division. Nobody has the expectation that the Lions or the Jaguars would win their division.
What about Kevin O'Connell?
Kevin O'Connell.
Well, that was the one I pondered.
I really wanted to. You know me, I have the Vikings top 5 in the NFL right now.
Yeah.
The only way Kevin O'Connell can win that award is if they are a 12-13 win team. Yeah. It needs to be definitive.
Yeah.
Because like I said, if you have a Dan Campbell with 10 wins behind you, if you have a Doug Peterson winning a division, if you have Brian Dable or Nathaniel Hackett maybe winning the division out in the AFC West, that's a lot of competition this year for Coach of the Year because of narratives and stories. Nathaniel Hackett, for me, Kevin O'Connell for me, really pulled at me to give him this award. but I'm going to give it to Doug Peterson. I think if the Jaguars win the division, I believe if you just put those two in a vacuum, Kevin O'Connell, division winner, Doug Peterson, division winner, which one would surprise you more?
Yeah, you're right.
And that's what Coach of the Year really is more about. Because if it was Coach of the Year, Bill Belichick would have won it a few times. Matt LaFleur has won 13 games for 3 straight years.
He should have.
He hasn't won an award.
He should have already won an award.
So you see what I mean? See where I'm going with this?
Right.
Try to think of also how the award is critiqued and voted on.
I do think
story does matter.
Absolutely. It's why Vrabel, I think, won it last year with the injuries they suffered, the amount of players that they had to, the starters they had to replace. You had Derrick Henry out. You had all these different players coming in and out of the lineup. So, yeah, you're right. Story does matter. That's why I got Brandon Staley. Because I think the toughest division in football, for him to win that division in his second year, I'm going to go with him. Why? What happened?
All right. This is a parlay that was just sent to me from our boy Jimmy. Jimmy watches the show. Big fan.
Yep. Shout out to Jimmy, man.
Jimmy said he's taking a $10 bet on our MVP choices across the board. All the awards.
Yikes.
He's got Josh Allen for MVP.
Okay.
Nick Bosa. Not Joey. Joey, goddammit. Nick Bosa for Defensive Player of the Year.
They already lost.
Aiden Hutchinson for Defensive Rookie.
That's smart.
Chris Olave for Offensive Rookie.
Okay.
Christian McCaffrey for Comeback Player of the Year. $10 wins you $464,000. He said, "We're going on a vacation. Me, and Jeff. This is based on your show today."
Thanks for the invite.
Let's do it. I love that, man. I love it. I love it. Although I think,
Oh, man.
these
Rich
picks, we'll find out.
Cervantes says, "This guy is so unprofessional. Rich, suck my dick." I don't care.
Rich,
Yeah,
what's
Adam does not
unprofessional?
care.
I don't care.
Come on,
All right,
Rich.
Jeff, we got to come back in a bit. When we do Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts, who has the advantage on Sunday between the Lions and the Eagles.
Big
we'll get to
fight.
that in a bit. But before we do, the best defense on and off the field.
Yes, we talk about defenses. One defense you can always count on is Guardian Alarm. Summertime is over, and that means you're still kind of spending time outside before the snow gets here. Let Guardian Alarm give you peace of mind while you are out enjoying the sunshine. Just call 1-800-STAY-OUT today, and you can rest easy knowing you have 24/7 protection. That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Let them know your friends at Woodward Sports sent you.
And it's live.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
Get a free Woodward Sports t-shirt. That's right, a free Woodward Sports t-shirt all month long at Big Frog and Novi. Just stop in, tell me sent you, and they'll print one out for you on the spot. So go to Big Frog and Novi today, get your free t-shirt, or visit them online at bigfrog.com/Novi.
All right, we're back. 9:33 here on a beautiful Thursday morning. Jeff, before we get into the Lions-Eagles conversation, Brandon Katz, good friend of the show, says Doug Peterson is nothing without Frank Reich. Peterson only has a job because the Jags are desperate, and some people think Peterson is why they won a Super Bowl. It was Reich, not Peterson.
Oh, boy. What's Adam going to say now? Adam, you there?
Doug Peterson's not my first choice. If I'm going out and starting an NFL franchise and I have to get a head coach, I'll be honest, he's not.
But
he won a Super Bowl with Nick Foles.
But it was Frank Reich.
He You know what?
I think that's the most ignorant thing to say, by the way, is to take.
He got the job because he is notoriously known for he's an offensive-minded coach. And what do the Jaguars need, specifically for Trevor Lawrence?
You need an offensive coach.
An offensive-minded coach to come in and help groom him and get him to go to that next level. I'm not going to have any more comments on that. Jared Goff, Jalen Hurts. Which quarterback do you prefer on Sunday? Which team has the advantage at the quarterback position going into Sunday?
I'm going to say, in terms of being able to make mistakes, potential mistakes, I would say it goes to Jalen Hurts because of that upside. You have the upside, you have the big playability, but there's also the downside. There's also the risk-taking. There's also the turnover ability. And I get Jared Goff has that, but Jared Goff, we know what he is. He's a safe quarterback. He's the check-down artist. I don't think he's going to put the Lions in bad positions on Sunday. So in terms of the quarterback advantage, in terms of skill set, I guess you lean Jalen Hurts, but in terms of just being solid and not putting your team in terrible situations, I would probably go with Jared Goff. But that doesn't matter. What matters is the roster that's around these quarterbacks. That's what matters. And Jalen Hurts has a better offense and defense. He's surrounded by, that's a Super Bowl roster. Let's be honest. Really. Look at what's around Jalen Hurts, just let alone. They have the advantage. They're going to come out Sunday. I think they're going to beat the Lions. I think it'll be close, though. I think the Lions will fight. But I don't see how the Lions, unless you can get Jalen Hurts to turn the ball over or make Jalen Hurts look like a shell of himself, I don't know how you could beat this team. I really don't. The Eagles defensively have little to no holes. And offensively, they have the best offensive line in football. Two wide receivers that are going to kill you on the outside. You have a good run game. You have Dallas Goedert, one of the best tight ends in the league. So I think the advantage would have to come to that defensive line for the Lions, getting to the quarterback, getting to Jalen Hurts, making him uncomfortable. And I think you could say the same for the Lions. If the Eagles can get to Jared Goff and make him uncomfortable, really it's whoever gets after who's quarterback. And I think the Lions will get after Jalen Hurts, but I do think just by running the football. You saw what the Eagles did last year. I think they were the best team at running the football, had the most yards in the NFL. So if they could run the football against the Lions, who defensively have a lot of unproven talent, they're going to smooth through a victory.
I want to focus on specific quarterback, right? Who has the advantage? I think it is Jalen Hurts. Going into Sunday, a porous run defense, a secondary that is not proven at all, A.J. Brown, Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert. The Eagles have weapons. The Eagles are not a team you want to open up the season against. And let's be frank here. A lot of the national media, very, very well respected, writers, pundits, whatever you want to call them. The Eagles are a dark horse Super Bowl team to some. Yeah. I don't agree with it, but to some, they are. And you can kind of piece it together with that defense and that offense. Jalen Hurts will have the ability. Who's gonna be able to contain him? Do you trust the speed of your linebackers to go after a Jalen Hurts if he gets out of the pocket? And let's not forget, Jalen Hurts is a pass-first quarterback. Yes, he does move with his legs, but he can throw the football.
I think he's better with his legs. I really do.
Of course, it makes him more dynamic.
Right.
Of course, it makes him valuable. More valuable than he would be as just a passer, just like Lamar.
Right.
But I think the advantage going into Sunday would be for Jalen Hurts because of the run defense of Detroit, the unproven secondary, the addition of A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. They have a lot of weapons here. And if I were to trust who would put a better performance together,
Jalen Hurts, because you're facing the Lions defense.
It would be on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
But I do not forget, and I am not going to just completely brush aside the offseason, the preseason, the camp, the joint practices, the performances that this individual has stacked and stacked and stacked all summer long with Jared Goff.
Right.
More confident than ever, throwing a better ball than we've seen in probably a few years. I think Goff is going to come out and have a very good game. But the advantage, I think, is in Jalen Hurts' corner. The run defense is suspect. Unproven secondary. You have Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown on the outside. You got Dallas Goedert at tight end. Miles Sanders, Kenneth Gainwell. A pretty okay, I would say above average offensive line, actually. I think the advantage has to be for Jalen Hurts this week, even though I do believe the Eagles' defense is overrated to where the league has them. I see them more middle of the pack, slightly above middle of the pack. That's still very good, by the way. But I don't see them as a top 5, top 7 defense this year.
No, and if we're saying who has the advantage, clearly it's Jalen Hurts because he's on the better roster. I mean, that's obvious. And because of what he's facing with this Lions defense, can you contain Jalen? Can you stop the run? That's the question. Can you stop the run and make him kill you in the pocket? And I don't think the Lions are going to be able to do that. They haven't proven they can stop the run. Now, they might. I mean, Aleem McNeil, everyone's been talking about Aleem McNeil, and I really do believe he'll have a breakout season. But we have to see it. I have to see it. I can't sit here and say the Lions are going to do well against the run. They haven't. I'm going to stick with that. The Eagles have the best O-line, in my opinion, in the NFL. So Jalen Hurts has the advantage. You have a better offensive line. You have better receivers. You have a better, about equal, I think, tight end. And then you have a backfield like Miles Sanders, like you mentioned, Gainwell. So that's the problem is Jalen Hurts has all the advantages. So, of course, he's going to be more dangerous. It's harder to game plan for Jalen Hurts because of what he can do with his legs.
And he doesn't turn the ball over much. 9 interceptions last season.
But he had 16 passing touchdowns. For every 2 touchdowns.
Fair, but he ran for 10. I mean, if Jared Goff had the legs, I'm just putting it into context. Right? If you're in the red zone, you're going to kind of use what makes you special, too. He is a threat in the red zone with his legs. Can I say this and you tell me if I'm totally off or
okay. All right,
you
I
agree?
got you.
Because I got to defend Jalen a little bit on this one.
Right.
Going into this season, if he throws 16 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and rushes for 10, I think it's fair to be disappointed. But if I told you he throws for 23 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, runs for another 7 or 8, can anyone really complain with that? That's 23 touchdowns
no,
still.
You can't complain. I just think, 23, though, with these receivers.
I know you want him to take the next step.
With these receivers,
I know you want him
should
to take
be
the next
minimum
step.
25, 26. But I get what you're saying.
But that's not last year, right? So going into this season, I would agree with you.
Right.
That
Not
has
last
to be
year,
the
yeah.
expectation.
Right.
Last year, I think
Lamar threw, 27 2 years ago?
Yeah.
A year ago, or whatever it was.
All
2 years
things
ago.
given, 26 total touchdowns, 9 interceptions. That's a hell of a ratio.
Yeah. And he's a talent. He's uber talented. I don't want to say that either. I think he has upside, and he can get to that upside. But I'm talking right now at this very moment. At this very moment, I haven't seen it out of Jalen, but I think he can do it. We'll see. He's got a lot to prove.
Stopping the run's going to be key.
It is.
When we get back, Bills and Rams officially kick off. Oh, yes! Oh, my God. I have missed football. I swear to you. Oh, my God. Let's just go to break real quick because I really want to talk about it and tell you why I'm so excited. But before we do, Jeff, our good friends over at Big Boy.
Yes, guys. For a limited time, you can go to Big Boy and try their burgers and loaded fries. It's delicious. I go to Big Boy. It's the best place to go for lunch. They have the Slim Jim, the Big Jim, the chili cheese, and they also have the cordon bleu, the bacon blue. And you can also upgrade your fries when you go, and you can see it in the picture. The chili cheese fries, the baked potato fries, or the nacho fries. Satisfy those taste buds at Big Boy.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
You're an ugly guy, and that's okay because you've outkicked your coverage with your significant other. Well, that's good news for you. Their hotness and your notness could get you front row tickets. The Woodward Sports Network is giving you a chance to sit front row for the Detroit versus Washington football game. That's right. We're looking for the ugliest guy and the hottest girl. So fellas, come on. If you know you've outkicked your coverage, here's your chance. Post a pic of you and your superior-looking partner on Twitter or Instagram with hashtag Woodward Front Row. Follow us and tag at Woodward Sports. Hurry because we'll be selecting a winner September 16th. We can't wait to see you. Well, her. From the network that always outkicks the competition. Woodward Sports.
Winter is coming up, and trust me, you're going to need a tan. So go check out our friends at Chili Peppers Tanning. You can join the Pepper Club at Chili Peppers Tanning. You'll get all the best deals, plus they will beat all competitors by $5. Chili Peppers has the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans. 26 locations and more on the way.
Chili Peppers tan.
All right, we're back here on the morning show. We got a few minutes, Jeff. Bills, Rams tonight. The Bills open up as the favorites on the road in Los Angeles. I'm excited. And I'm excited for a multitude of reasons. We haven't seen a team defend their Super Bowl title since the New England Patriots all the way back in the day, early 2000s. Hasn't been done in a long time. It's very difficult to do. The Rams kick off their campaign tonight. I kick off the campaign of being allowed to ignore my wife 3 days a week. My God, I am going to sleep better at night. I can't wait. So this is like a really important time for me.
No, it's super
I'm very,
important.
very excited, very humbled. And also, I'm ready to bet. And the absolute lock bet you must take tonight. You have to take the defending Super Bowl champions at home, first game of the year, as an underdog. Guys, the money is there.
And
I understand if you want to bet on the Bills, go for it. But you want to talk about winning the most money and what bet makes the most sense? Taking the Rams as an underdog at home. Free money to me.
And I want to add something on top of that. Adam Schefter tweeted this out, and I thought it was great. During his 6 seasons and 81 games as the Rams head coach, Sean McVay's team never, ever has been under 500. His streak will be put to test tonight in the regular season against the Bills.
No way.
So if he loses tonight, it'll be the first time in 6 seasons he started. So to your, hey, I'm just saying, history's riding with you, Adam, as well. And Matthew feels good, his elbow feels good, so he'll be back. But you know what? With all that said, I'm going with the Bills.
Oh, you jackass.
I'm going with the Bills. No, I really do. I think looking at the first game,
breaking those tables.
It's a tough game to call. I feel like it's a toss-up. Two teams that I have both these teams in the Super Bowl, to be honest with you. I have the Bills winning tonight. I really do. I think the Bills are going to come out. They have a lot to prove. The last time you saw Josh Allen play was when Patrick Mahomes ripped the heart out of him and beat him in 14 seconds. So I'm going to go with the Bills to win tonight. They have a lot to prove. They're in L.A. I think the Rams, I'm not saying they're going to have a hangover, but they're going to come in first game of the season. And I think the Bills offense also has a lot to prove because they lost Brian Dable. So give me Josh Allen and the Bills.
A few bets I want to make as well on top of the Rams. All right? We'll take the over at 51.5. I think that's free. The defenses are not going to be dominant week 1, right? They're all trying to get their legs under. Most of these players have not played in preseason. They're going to come out. I think the offenses are going to have their way early. The defenses will probably catch steam in the second half. But offensively, expect anywhere from 35 to 42 points scored in the first half. Expect a 21-14, 21-17, 21-21 first half.
I can see that. First game of the year.
So I'm smashing the over tonight on the Bills-Rams game. I'm also taking Stephon Diggs, Allen Robinson, Cooper Kupp, and Dawson Knox all over 50 yards receiving. That's going to be my first parlay prop. And the second will be Cooper Kupp to have over 100 yards and 2 touchdown passes.
Oh,
or, excuse me, 2 touchdown receptions.
Coming out hot.
Coming out hot. He did it last year against the Colts, I believe they opened up the season. No, yeah, they did. Was it the Colts or the Bears? No, they opened up against the Colts, and then it was the Bears.
Yeah.
No, I'm pretty sure. It was Colts, then Bears last year. I remember because I had Cooper Kupp. I took him in the 4th round last year, and I was like middle fingering everybody in the group after his first game of the year. So, yeah, that's the whole thing. I'm pretty sure I remember it vividly.
And one thing I do want to bring up, which I'm a little worried about, this is my only concern for the Bills, and it actually goes in favor of you, Adam. Tre'Davious White, not playing.
Yep.
He's out. So number 1 corner for the Bills, out. They haven't named a starting cornerback to replace him. The Bills are in a sticky situation right now to replace him at cornerback. And listen, the Rams are going to come. They're loaded on offense. That's the only thing worrying for me. But to your point, Cooper Kupp over 100 yards. Who's guarding him? That's the question you got to ask. Because Tre'Davious White's out, so it'll be a good one.
I'm excited, man. Football's back. You couldn't have asked for anything better. So last year, by the way, the Rams did open up against the Chicago Bears, and Cooper Kupp had 108 yards and I believe a touchdown catch. And then week 2 against Indianapolis, he went off for 2 touchdowns and 163 yards. But anyways,
Jesus,
I'm excited.
First 2 games of the
I'm excited
season.
for tonight's game. We're going to give away our Super Bowl predictions tomorrow. But I'm just saying, don't be surprised if what you're going to watch tonight is a glimpse of what you'll watch in February.
Yeah.
These are two of the best teams in the NFL. When we get back, Mailbag will answer all of your questions. Get them in the chat. But before we go, I got to tell you about the special front row ticket giveaway we are running here at the network. Woodward Sports is giving you a chance to sit front row for the Detroit-Washington football game. That's right. We are looking for the ugliest dude and the hottest girl. So, fellas, if you know you've outkicked your coverage, here's your chance. Post a picture of you and your superior-looking partner on Twitter and Instagram and use hashtag WoodwardFrontRow. Follow us and tag Woodward Sports, of course. And hurry, because we will be selecting this winner September 16th. We'll see you guys in just a bit.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risks, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Hey, we're fired up. Are you ready for some NFL football? I know we are over at the Woodward Bets YouTube page. You're going to have to come check us out over there at 4:30. You also got to get over to that app store and download oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and the best place to check all the odds for the sports books right in the palm of your hand. But hey, fun coupons. That's what we want. First bet of the year, NFL time. Let's go. Listen, I'm rolling with the under in the first half tonight's game. I think both teams got great defenses. Unders in primetime, 58%. Sounds good to me. oddstrader.com. Woodward Bets. Check it out.
Make sure you're listening to Woodward Sports all day long. Start your morning with the Morning Woodward Show. Spend middays with Big D Energy. Watch and listen your drive home with the Bottom Line. And don't forget about Woodward Bets Daily. All live, all right here on the Woodward Sports Network.
All right, we're back here on the Morning Woodward Show.
I got to tell
Jeff.
I got to tell you about the Academy Award first, Adam. Hold on. We're getting there. All right, the Academy Award. Are you interested in expanding your career and making a difference in your community? The Academy Award for professionals that have a passion for working with students in the K-8 department and more. For more information on how to apply, call us at 586-552-8010. We are the Academy Award.
Oh, God. My bad,
You can
Jeff.
blame me if you want.
Yeah, it is your fault, Fish, but it's okay. I should have paid attention. Anyways, Jack Harrington asks, will you cry if JJ has a bad game on Saturday? No, I won't. Because if he has a bad game and they lose,
you'll be the happiest person
I'll be one of the happiest people
Earth.
in the world. Imagine. Oh, God, Michigan losing would absolutely make my... You guys aren't ready for a show when Michigan lose.
Against a team that got rocked 63-10
Yeah,
and
but they're not.
49-17
JJ's going to have a
at
great
home.
game, and Michigan's going to dominate.
Yeah, he's
so
gonna
we're
learn
going to not entertain that. Do you like the new Pistons' third blue uniforms? I don't like them.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm not in love with them.
That's the way to put it. I'll
They're
agree
cool.
with you.
They're whatever.
They're cool.
I would never buy it.
I'm not in
I'd
love
buy
with
that
them.
in a shirt.
I'm not in love with them, but again, I'm not a big, the uniforms matter, to me. I like teal jerseys. We talked about that, but at the end of the day, if they're winning, I don't give a damn what they're wearing. You could be out there in a t-shirt. As long as you're winning games, I'm cool with it.
I agree. Inside the Den or Hard Knocks?
Inside the Den.
Really?
Yeah, because there's no BS. Like, there's no, follow David Blau and his wife. It's just strictly, what they're doing. It's strictly business.
Yeah, but
I'm a
both of them
business
are-
guy. I want to see, I don't want to see the juice. I want to go out there and watch what Brad Holmes is doing behind the scenes. So
Jeff, why are you so sexy?
Both of them are cutting stuff out,
your boy did just get faded up, so I appreciate that. I did just get a haircut.
Jesse Adams says, Cooper Kupp, Diggs, Tyler Higbee, a touchdown plus Stafford and Allen to throw over 1.5 touchdowns, and the Rams minus 1.5. It's plus 3,300. Thoughts? Jesse, I would swap Higbee for Dawson Knox, and I would do it. But Higbee's also a good bet. That's a tough one, but it's a really good bet. Good odds. $10 wins you what? $330? Hell of a bet. All right, let's see. I'd pay to see Fish and Kennedy host their own show. Can you make that happen, Mike? I think we have enough of Fish.
Hey, check out the Fish Stick pod.
That's it? You just seen enough of me already?
Fish and Stick, dude.
Yeah, I'm already sick of you, Fish.
Okay.
I hope you know that.
I've known that for a year and a half now.
Fish. When are you guys making another episode of the Fish Stick pod?
I don't know. We got to be unbusy.
You got to start plugging that in more. It's your pod, man. I think it's a genius name, by the way.
I mean,
Fish Stick pod.
Fish Sticks are pretty good.
It's a good name. It is.
All right, Anthony says he'd rather watch Inside the Den. Surprise NFL head coaching fire will be Cliff Kingsbury. If that's not a surprise to you guys, then Bill Belichick.
No, he won't get fired. I don't think Pete will get fired. It's probably, for me, it's either Pete or Cliff Kingsbury. Either one.
They're in a full rebuild. I don't know how they're going to get rid of Pete. Like, the fact that they chose Pete over Russell Wilson is a whole different argument. But Bill Belichick. You want a surprise one? Bill Belichick.
You think he gets, like, fired? Or you think he'll
mutually part ways?
Okay, that's the way it'll probably be phrased.
Watch out. They might finish last in the division. And it wouldn't surprise me one bit.
All right.
And not only they could, I have them finishing last this year.
Behind the Jets?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
They're going to take a significant step back this year.
I don't.
Miami's a lot better. The Jets are a lot better.
What they win, like 9
They
games?
went 9-8, I believe, last year, or 8-9. No, 9-8. They made the
playoffs, and that was really they had nobody really ever seen.
And they still have nobody.
Don't. So it's like they proved they can do it. We'll see. I'll let you.
I'm all in on them
I think
winning.
the Jets will be worse, but I hear what you're saying.
I think they'll be tied with the same record, 5-12.
Okay.
But the Jets will have probably head-to-head advantage. Who knows? Yeah, I'm calling for them to be last place. Hopkins is out the first 6 weeks. Arizona won't fire Cliff Kingsbury. Dude, have you not read the room at all?
They're not going to base it off Hopkins being out.
Do you think Hopkins is the reason he's not going to lose his job this year?
It's more than that.
This is a team that in September, October have been phenomenal in the NFL. They're amazing. And then as the season goes on, they fall apart. Nobody's interested in talking about a 7-1 Cardinals team that finishes the year 10-7 or 11-6. Not interesting. Not interesting. They blew the division last year. They embarrassed themselves down the stretch. Lost to the Lions. Don't want to hear it. Cliff Kingsbury, to me, I wouldn't even label him as a surprise at this point because I think he's on the hot seat. All right, what else do we have here? Which quarterback will lead the NFL in touchdowns and yards? I'm going to go Justin Herbert in both. Who do you got?
Sorry, I was reading a question. What did you say?
Most passing yards and touchdowns this year by a quarterback. Who? I went Justin Herbert for both.
Oh, that's a tough one. It's between Herbert or Allen. I'll go with my MVP. I'll go with Allen. Could be Herbert though. Like it's a toss up, man. It's a coin flip.
All right, let's see what other questions we have in the chat. Adam, if you were watching the Lions game and Fish calls you, I would not hang up. I would not answer. Don't worry. I would never answer Fish on a Sunday.
And by the way, I want to answer Jesse Adams because he mentioned Nate Diaz against Hamzat. I would be excited if Nate Diaz beats Hamzat this weekend. Everybody's counting my man out, and I hate the disrespect towards Nate Diaz. So I'd be excited. Honestly, I would. I can't wait to watch it.
Adam, are you going to have a bad Sunday morning because BYU's going to get their first dub? Or going to get that dub, excuse me. No, Baylor's winning, baby. Baylor's winning. We got all the money in the world on it. I'm not even sweating.
Keep that chest hair all nice and thick.
I'm not even sweating.
So you can shave it.
Herbert's hair or Slanik hair?
Oh, Slanik hair.
Slanik hair.
No, I'm not even thinking about that.
But Herbert's hair is pretty elite.
But Slanik's hair.
I know, but
longer, more luscious.
I don't know.
I got the length with Justin. I'm going with Justin, my guy.
All right. Let's see what else we have. It will be Carr. The Raiders have no defense. What do you mean it will be Carr? Oh, okay, excuse me, for yards and touchdowns.
Yeah.
That's actually not a bad pick, Brandon, honestly. Devontae Adams, Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow. Not bad. That's actually a really good one. I like that. Speaking of coaches, by the way, Coach of the Year, I know we brought it up earlier, Josh McDaniels.
That's
another guy. He wins the division, probably Coach of the Year.
For that team?
What's a better story? The hardest division in football.
Yeah, it'd be essentially the same case I'm making for Staley.
Nathaniel Hackett, same thing. And Brandon Staley.
They're all, if you win that division.
If you win that division and you're not named Andy Reid, you're going to be in the conversation for Coach of the Year.
Absolutely.
Especially given two of them are rookies this year.
Absolutely.
Jeff, are you a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan? They just came out with a Kawabunga collection.
What the hell? I mean,
are you?
No. I mean, what?
I think you're too young for Teenage.
No, I watched it as a
Too
kid.
young.
But I never was in.
Even I watched it as a kid. I wasn't into it though.
Yeah, no, I was a weird kid,
fine.
man. I was playing sports and watching like some TV, but I wasn't like super diehard fan of any really show at all, to be honest with you.
Honolulu Blue Sparty. Adam, your favorite beer or drink? Jeff, you can answer this as well. I'm going to go Heineken. Heineken's my go-to drink.
Not a big beer guy, to be honest with you. I drink vodka. If I go out, I have a little vodka soda.
Gypsy vodka?
Cranberry, little gypsy vodka. Yeah, a little gypsy vodka. But if I'm drinking beer,
I'm a Heineken guy.
Okay.
Heineken's pretty good. We'll go with Miller Lite. Why not?
All right, fair enough.
Ooh.
Allen Robinson, 2 touchdown passes. Or, excuse me, touchdown receptions. Not bad. Who was your early quarterback favorite in college for the Lions to pick up? Stroud? I don't know, guys. Let's not talk about that. Let's see the quarterbacks play, number 1. Number 2, let's see how the Lions do, because that'll determine where they're going to be picking and what the move is going to be. Adam, BYU shaved in the chest hair? Absolutely, but it's not going to happen because Baylor's going to win. So, we'll see you all tomorrow.
Yay.
I can't wait. Going to be a great Friday show. Lots of Lions, lots of football, lots of bets. It's going to be phenomenal. The season is officially here. We get to recap, of course, Thursday Night Football. You all have a great rest of your day. Enjoy the football at night.
Yes, sir.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Rams and Bills.
And it's live.